Hey there guys, welcome to Skirmish Miniature Gaming, and I'm joined by Josh, as always, Through Spies Gaming. Josh.
Oh.
What's up guys? Hope you all enjoyed the new little intro as well. I thought that was quite cool. Just a little lead up to the SkirmishCast from now on, I think. But welcome to anybody who's joining us in the comments. I see we've got a few people in there already. As always guys, hobby and chat night, Sunday night, Sunday. And it's obviously Super Bowl night over in the US as well, so I am on the endless amounts of sweets and Pepsi and fizzy and all that kind of stuff to get me through the evening, pretty much so that I can stay up for the Super Bowl, because in the UK it kicks off at like 11:30 at night, and yeah, it's going to be tough, but I'm going to do it. And I say I'm going to every year and I don't, so this is the year. But welcome to all you guys. Me and Josh are going to be hobbying, chatting to you guys in the comments, so feel free to get involved guys. Let us know where you're watching from and what you're up to, whether you're getting any hobbying done or not. But it's good to see all of you joining. So we got David in there. Welcome, buddy. Always reporting for duty here in Calgary. Good to see you, pal. Let us know what you're up to tonight, bud, if anything. I know Josh said that he was on one of your streams the other night, buddy, so yes. With your tanks and whatnot.
Yeah, really enjoyed it, actually. It was a very good stream.
Yep. There you go. Al's in the building. Evening, you magnificent lot. Hello, buddy. And we got Kevin, Elderblog. Hey, guys. What's up, Kev? Good to see you, buddy. And Ruas321, good evening. First time catching a live stream. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you here. Always good to have new people. I did post this around, actually, on summer socials and things in different places for tonight, actually, to see if anybody wanted to join us. It's just always a cool Sunday night, help you hang out if you want something to listen to and other people to hang out with surrounding the hobby. Ruas, then... that's what we're here for on a Sunday night, and Josh generally joins me, don't you, bud? So
yes. Yeah,
and we'll let you know what we're up to in a moment. But do let us know where you're watching from, Russ. Good to see you joining us, pal, and I hope you enjoy the stream. And David says, "What was the intro? I missed it." And hello, gentlemen. Well, you'll have to watch it back now, buddy. Either that, or you'll have to wait till next week's maybe. But yeah, you should be able to watch it back. Hopefully, it worked perfectly fine. I think it did. It looked like it did, anyway. But yeah, and and David says I'm up to chores, but I should be on to painting again shortly. Good to hear, buddy. Good to hear. But welcome to anybody who's only just joining us, and let us know what you're up to tonight and where you're possibly watching from if you're new. Obviously, some of you guys are regulars, so you guys don't need to explain yourselves. We know where you're coming from, but tonight I am working on some of the new Underworlds Direchasm set. So that is the probably best way to show that. There we go. They're the two new warbands from the Direchasm set. So I'm just doing some building tonight, and then Josh is doing some Marvel.
Painting Black Panther and Killmonger from Marvel.
Nice. So and I'm still jealous of that because we don't have those for the studio, for the channel. So well done on that. But yeah, we'll just keep working through things. And if you guys want to drop any topics you like into the comments or just general chat, then obviously, as always, we're always happy to kind of talk about whatever you want, guys. And Ruas gets in there. He says, cheers, no hobbying for me, just chilling, Denmark here. Oh, good to have a Dane joining us. Welcome, buddy. But yeah, you don't have to be hobby or anything. If you just come to chill and listen to us have a chat and see what we're up to, that's cool. And Kev says, I'm cleaning spilled gold paint. Oh, dear. Ooh. Is that Custodes by any chance or something? Or are you just spraying some Blood Angels or something, bud? Some more stuff for that. But yeah, don't mind me, guys. I am going to be munching on Skittles, Haribo, and drinking Pepsi tonight to keep me going for the Super Bowl. Welcome to anybody who's just joining us. And he's slowly trying to build away whilst live on these new Slaanesh Mortal models. Did anyone see the Warhammer community post as well tonight? All the new Slaanesh models out in 2 weeks' time for pre-order.
Oh.
So, anybody's interested in getting the new Slaanesh Mortals, they were announced properly tonight on the Warhammer community page. They look pretty awesome.
Yeah, wouldn't mind a warband with him.
Yeah, for Mortal Slaanesh.
Yeah.
I thought that as well. It'd be pretty cool, to be fair. And obviously I've got these there's a Slanesh Mortal Warband for the Direchasm out of the Direchasm set, so I might be able to use some of these models. To be fair, if I did get one. So and today, literally this morning, filmed some Warcry that'll be coming out next week, guys. If you're a Warcry fan, so that'll be the bat rep for this week. I've it was member voted this today, so it was the what was it? It was I played it, I should know.
You made, weren't it?
Yeah, Unmade versus Skaven. That was it. Skaven. Yeah. It was a good game as well. It was another one of the battle plans from the new Tome of Champions 2020. So it was pretty cool.
It's the only book I haven't brought yet.
Say again, bud?
That's the only book I haven't got yet, of the new ones.
The Tome of Champions?
Yeah.
The only thing you would really want it for is updated narrative missions and match play missions, really.
Yeah.
But there's plenty from the old Tome of Champions and the core book anyway, really. And then if you got Catacombs as well, that'll keep people going as well.
Yeah.
I guess.
I did have a game of Warcry against my wife the other day, actually. I used my Goblins for the first time. Which they're so fun to play.
That's it, yeah.
Goblins.
Ruas is in there. Says, would like to hear your take on the new Bladeborn. Bladeborn?
That's the game, isn't it? The board game.
Oh, yes. I
Blade?
did read up some bits on it, but I haven't obviously given it a go or anything yet. Yeah, I haven't been able to play it yet, but so I don't really know. I'm guessing you just mean like thoughts on it from what we've seen. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. You've got the it obviously looks like a combo between Warcry and Underworlds, doesn't it? Is what they're saying, and they're saying that it's an introduction into Warcry and Underworlds, and it also does kind of make it look, at least right now anyway, like they're gonna be. If that's the case and they're crossing the two over with that kind of board game, like that, they might well be allowing you to Warhammer Underworld warbands in Warcry from now on. Like maybe they release rules for them in, White Dwarfs and things, maybe, or I don't know. But it looks to me in the image. I wish I could put up an image for you guys, but it looks to me. I'm looking at it now. The actual cards you get for the two Warhammer Underworlds bands look like standard, pretty much Warcry cards, tactic cards, and so does their ability card. So I don't know how Bladeborn, the game itself, is going to play. Does that mean you're going to get decks for each of them as well? Is there going to be multiple ways to play the game? So like you might be able to play it in two different ways. So you can play it as Warhammer Underworlds if you have the Underworlds decks separately. Or you can play it like Warcry, and it's just more of a linear Warcry with the board set up with the hexes. I'm super excited to get playing Warhammer Underworlds again as well, but to be fair, because I haven't been able to do that during lockdown. I just gotten back in touch with Nathaniel, who we used to film bat reps together for Underworlds, and then all of this came down on us again for lockdown, and we didn't get a chance to start up Underworlds again, but that will be coming, and it is tonight, as I've been saying, that I'm working on the new Direchasm warbands and building those. It's the first I've done for Underworlds in a while, so I'm super excited. It's one of my favorite games the Games Workshop have ever done, so I'm just super excited to kind of really get going on Underworlds again, and I'm excited to play it. And the new Bladeborn does look pretty cool, and it's definitely something we'll obviously cover when it arrives. There was Bladeborn, and what was the other one again? It was Fire Team was the 40k one, which kind of looks like Underworlds for 40k, crossed with Kill Team. So that's also pretty cool. If it is Underworld's 40k, which is what it looks like to me, that is really, really cool. And it looks like that set, you get some Necrons, some Immortals, some Warriors, some Immortals for the Necrons, and some Scarabs, which is cool. And then in the Space Marine half of it, it looks like you get some Assault Intercessors, which we're always happy to get more of those as well for Kill Team. So both of those games, so the 40k Fire Team and the Bladeborn, look like games we'll definitely want to cover. The Doomsday Countdown one, I'm not so sure. It looks a bit more like a board game than the war game, and they do actually call it a board game in that, so not so sure about that one. But Might end up covering all of them, mate, to be fair. But yeah, thanks for bringing up that one, pal. And we will talk about that more, to be fair, as the stream goes on. So, but yeah, it does make me excited that they're going to give us rules for the Warhammer Underworlds warbands in Warcry. I really hope that they do that. That'd be really cool. You could have narrative battles in Warcry with the Underworlds warbands. What are your thoughts on it, Josh? Those that got announced.
The 40k ones don't interest me, I'll be honest. But the Bladeborn one, I do like.
Bladeborn, yeah.
Yeah, and if it's about 55 quid, which 55, 60 quid.
Usually probably are, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm hoping is. I probably will pick up.
And it looks like they've confirmed that it's going to be available on their own website as well. It's not going to be like one of these Barnes & Noble America-only board game things. So it looks like it's going to be available to everybody through their website for anybody who's interested, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited to kind of learn more about it when they let us know more about the games. I'm super excited for that. We've obviously got Kill Team Prior Nexus that was announced, and they've revealed more about that. So excited to kind of learn more about that as well, I guess, and kind of we'll look forward to getting into that. But yeah, exciting times for skirmish games as always. Always love more games to play. I was just reading through the Frostgrave rulebook whilst watching the football in the UK. To be honest, which is pretty interesting. I'm liking the look of Frostgrave. I'm looking forward to getting into that.
Yeah, I quite like the look of Frostgrave.
Yeah, that's it. And Elderblog Kev says he's working on his sanguinary guard. That's why he's got golden spray paint everywhere. Loving it. And Charles Salmon joins us. He says, "Good evening. I'm working on some red butchers. Awesome. Red butchers. Is that I'm guessing that's either ogres or red butchers are like a Necromunda gang or something." Searching it, you'll probably let me know before I find out, but
yeah.
Well, I know butchers are models from oh no, wait there. No, red butchers are the Horus Heresy models. World Eater models. Oh, they're really cool. Like I say, guys, type if you're watching, guys, type in if you haven't seen them before, type in World Eaters Legion Red Butchers Horus Heresy, and they're really nice models. Wow, I would buy those for. I know a lot of people use those models as like Terminators for World Eaters in standard 40k. They look really nice, but I bet if you haven't already, Charles, join our in the description, join our Discord and throw a photo of what you're working on in Discord in our Discord channel. I'm curious to see how you're doing those, because Forge World have some really nice models.
They are nice models.
Expensive, but nice. I really want to get I really badly want to make my own personalized knight. Chaos Legion. Say again?
That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. And they have their own Forge World models that you could kind of replace with the normal models. To be fair, and use them as a kill team. The only thing I'm waiting for is for Chaos to get Raptors and Warp Talons in kill team. I don't know why they haven't already had them. They're like the perfect kill team models, and for some reason they just haven't bothered bringing them out for them. So, but yeah, good to know. But I'm guessing that it's World Eater Terminators. He did confirm it. So yeah, nice. And let us know where you're watching from as well. But I'm always intrigued to know. And David says, yeah, Bladeborn is the Underworld's Warcry fusion. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks exactly like that. And by the looks of things, by the setup around the board, my guess is it's a board that allows you to play either Underworlds, pure Underworlds, or pure Warcry on the board, and then they might have like a mixed game as well. That's my guesstimation right now, anyway, as to how it might be, but we'll see. Donald Cowie joins us. Hello there, bud. Says, looks like Warcry on a grid. Basically. But if you haven't seen anything on Warhammer Underworlds, but then it's kind of not just Warcry on a grid, it is Warcry crossed with Warhammer Underworlds. If you've seen how Underworlds looks and whatnot, it looks like a Warhammer Underworlds board, minus a couple of differences. So it definitely is just a cross between the two. How much of a cross it'll be and whether they add other things in to make it its own game, I don't know. I'm sure they will. But definitely look forward to playing it. Looks good. Looks cool. And good to see you joining us, Donald. Let us know what you're up to, pal. If you're doing any hobbying and where you're watching from. It's good to see you joining us. And David says it also seems Bladeborn might not be locked to Barnes & Noble. One of our local game stores in town is saying they'll bring it in. Yeah, so what I was saying before, wasn't it, buddy? I think, like I say, that it will be available to more or less everyone this time, whereas not just like, an exclusive to them, but they'll probably still sell it there, but it won't just be an exclusive necessarily, which is nice to know. So, yeah. And Ruas says, the new Warhammer Quest looks so interesting, lore and model-wise. If GW have a 3-year production rate, imagine what is coming in the future. I know, mate. It's mad, isn't it? When you consider that in the last 2 years, in last year, especially during lockdown, what they've actually, probably made profit-wise, what can we expect in 2 to 3 years' time? It's pretty mad, isn't it? But my guess would be, once again here, and just a guess, is that with a lot of their success this year, a lot of that will probably go into even bigger projects, such as like TV series, all that kind of thing, films and stuff. They might even start to look into that sort of thing now, which we've seen them making moves on already, but I can see them certainly boosting that even more so. So, yeah, and Warhammer Quest, Bud, we did cover that a bit last week, I think, Josh, or the week before. May have been on my own for that one.
Warhammer what, sorry?
The new Warhammer Quest.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And we did also get, I think, this week, another reveal for the undead models. Which I'll just search the name for, because I can't remember what they're called again, to be honest. Yeah, I'll find the article again, but yeah, they look pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm liking what the game's shaping up to be.
You're making some lovely models at the moment, aren't they? Games Workshop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely known for that, aren't they? So, yeah, you've got the... yeah, so it's a death rattle warband led by called the Ulfan Watch, which is pretty cool. Gorslav the Gravekeeper is the leader. That's the one. And he's a really cool model. He looks like a dead pirate, basically. And then those skeleton models will come in handy for other games as well, I'm sure. So, yeah, I know Warhammer Quest looks ace, but he will definitely be covering that when that drops as well, whenever that'll be. Plenty of cool little games to come, that's for sure. And really excited, as I say. Looking forward to it. And David said that's good to hear on the Frostgrave front. Yeah, it looks good fun. I love the idea that you got so many spells, because it's obviously centered around your wizards, isn't it? But might even be tempted to pick up a little bit of new ruin terrain for that game, to be fair. Because we don't have a hell of a lot. But we've got a nice big snowy 3x3 map ready for it. So, Josh, is that your headphones or something, but it's making a funny noise?
Hi, sorry, my wife just put the kettle on.
Oh!
It's not.
I thought it was your mic or something. No worries.
Yeah, I'm in the kitchen. Sorry.
No, you're right. Don't worry. Al says, I love the new Direchasm Savage Orc. Wolverine. Yeah, instead of Wolverine. Love that. I did say I thought it looked like Savage Orc, Wolverine, version of Wolverine, to be honest. It definitely looked like that.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah, I know you said you thought that, Josh, as well, to be fair. But yeah, I'm sure that warband will be really cool. I'm surprised they haven't done a Savage Orc warband sooner, to be fair, but he did look really cool with his dual claws. Expect him to do Wolverine with his like across the front. And David said it's like how there aren't Assault Marines in Kill Team. Yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, let us know if you're only just joining us, guys. Get into the comments. Let us know what you're working on tonight. And if you've got any topics or questions you want to ask, as always, we're always happy to talk about anything. We've just been talking about the new Bladeborn announcement, actually, because that was released with the other couple of board games. You got that Fire Team, which I'm actually equally as excited for, because I am a fan of Kill Team and of Underworlds. So it looks like a cross between the two of those. And if that's the case, then count me in. I'm always happy for any new skirmish content or games from anybody. You guys know that's my passion. But I am intrigued by that, definitely, to say the least.
Yeah, just
I
look.
think. Say again, mate.
Just a lot of fun, anyway. The new games.
Yeah, I mean, if it is that they're trialing Warhammer Underworlds in a 40k setting, I am more than up for that. I think that could be really cool. So yeah, I will look forward to that if that's the case. Doesn't really necessarily look like that, to be honest, because they don't look like individual character models like the Underworld warbands. They just look like generic assault intercessors and kind of whatever else is in there. It's not flayed ones in that set. It's the I said before, Necron Warriors and Immortals. Sorry. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, guys, feel free to bring up any kind of topics as always. Me and Josh are always happy to talk anything wargaming related or skirmish related, as always. And as I say, I'm just working on my Warhammer Underworlds Direchasm models, which is exciting. Josh is working on his Black Panther and Killmonger.
Yes.
Indeed.
Killmonger.
Ooh, is that Killmonger?
Yes.
It's a nice start. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool,
contrast.
Contrast in it, yeah. I've got my contrast range on its way sooner than later, I believe. The only trouble I've got is getting hold of the spray paints that you need for them, because they're
just use white.
Low in white, yeah, I know, yeah. Could use a bit of white. I used white though with the bone color, and it was okay. It wasn't the best. It came out okay, but yeah, I will just generally use white for now. It'll do the job. But I know if you use a kind of creamy color, it does as the base. It does come out a little better from what I've seen. But I'll wait and see on that. I'll trial different things, I think.
Yeah. No, I normally just spray in white now. I do. So trying to get
spray might as well. Whatever goes, isn't it? And let's see what's going on in the world of the comments. TNG Productions is in the building. Hi all, hope we're all good. How are you guys getting on with the Lord Cooper crew for foe? Cool, man. Yeah, I had seen that there's a few people looking at getting into obviously the Malifaux now because of the new faction for the Explorer Society. So quite cool that people are choosing to get into it now because of that, and it is a cool new faction. There's some really cool stuff in that. I really want the new Malisaurus Rex, is it? The big massive T-Rex you can get for Malifaux. It looks awesome. And yeah, the new Lord Cooper crew is really cool. I've been working that on that for some of our live streams, bud. So good to hear that you're getting on with that. Thanks for joining us, pal. And Donald Cowie says, do you think we get more Warcry warbands down the road at some point? Warcry warbands. Do you mean the individual box sets that they release for the game, pal? So like we've just had Sylvaneth and Skaven, was it? And Legions and Nagash? Is that what you mean by that? Or do you mean Warcry specific warbands? So like the Chaos ones, and like you've got K-Knight Shadow Stalkers, and we had the Scions of the Flame. They were the most recent ones. So do you mean specific to Warcry, or do you mean just box sets in general? Because I think both, to be honest. The game's done really well for GW, and people seem to be still wanting to play the game and invest in it and buy into it. So yeah, I think so. And David says, I just learned of another Barnes & Noble game I want, Combat Arena. It's basically Gore Chosen with the Blackstone Fortress expansion minis. Need to save my pennies and contact an American friend. That's cool, pal. Yeah, it's neat when you get all these little games and things, isn't it? And for GW, when they're making the profits they can easily release tons of these different individual games quite easily. Yeah. And Ruiz321 says, what are you hoping to see in the upcoming Age of Sigmar Soulblight release? If the standard is as the Underworlds Vampire release, it's going to be epic. Yeah, the only thing I would say is the Warhammer Underworlds models generally are very high quality detail models. However, we did get the sneak peek of the hero, didn't we? With the bat, is it the bats coming off her back? A lot of people were kind of hit and miss about, to be honest. I saw a lot of people didn't really like it. Some people thought it looked pretty cool. I wasn't so sure about it myself. The actual mini itself was cool, but the whole bats thing coming off of the hair was very extravagant for my liking, but it was still nice. You like that model, I think, didn't you, Josh?
Yeah, I really like it, actually.
Yeah, quite cool.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, I think you can expect some really cool stuff for the Soulblight release. You're going to probably get a ton of cool vampire models anyway that'll come out for the new Warhammer Quest, Ulfin Khan. You'll definitely get some new models for that, vampire related. But I will be excited to see what they do with an also new Soulblight release of models. I don't think you'll get a crazy amount of new models, but you'll probably get a few new units, especially for a full-size Age of Sigmar. But I'd love to get a Soulblight warband anyway for Warcry, because that's now an option with the new Death rulebook that you can get, Grand Alliance book. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Get into the comments as well, guys. I want to know if any other people around the world are going to be staying up for the Super Bowl in the US. I am on the sweets and whatnot tonight, trying to stay up for the Super Bowl. So I've got the Skittles, the Haribo, and the Pepsi, so that I can stay up to watch it. I know Alan will. So yeah, let me know.
I won't be.
Hey?
I'll be in bed by then.
Joshua. Yep. And David says, you don't really need the official spray. Try a light-coloured semi-gloss primer. Okay. Good to know, pal. Thank you. Good to know. I will trial it. But yeah, I've got all the contrasts on the way, so I'm really excited to use contrast now, and it'll speed up my painting process for the channel tenfold, which is always good. You guys can see stuff sooner than on the channel, because I'm actually not too bad with my painting and my building. For example, today I've filmed a game and done some chores, and then also managed to get some TT Combat terrain built, which is we're being sent Bushido, which is a fantasy Oriental based game for anybody who doesn't know, to do some reviews and stuff on and do some battle reports. So I've built, just a second, got building a few bits, but that is I think it's called a Toru gate. So it's like one of those, it will be base coated in like a dull red and probably like a dark roof. So it's like an archway. It's obviously like Oriental Japanese kind of style archway. And I got tons of this kind of terrain to go along with Bushido, and we can probably use it for Malifaux stuff as well for certain games. For any of you guys who are interested, so really excited to get that built and painted. That'll be nice to add to the terrain for the studio.
Just look good, actually, that game.
Bushido.
Yeah.
It's for anybody who's interested in it. I will be doing videos on it when we receive it. Don't worry, there'll be plenty to come. For anybody who wants to find out more about it, but it looks like a neat little game, to be fair. And you don't need many models to play it either. It's very low model count. It's a quick game to play. Small table, like 2x2 table needed. And you can make some really pretty table setups with it. The background to it's really cool. I'm looking forward to getting into some more Bushido. That will be interesting.
I think it's about 30 quid for one of the factions box set.
Yeah, the starter box set. I think that's mostly what we're being sent, and it's like 30 quid, so $40 to get into the game with. So split that with somebody else as well. It's nothing really. And then I think you can get the separate. There's like maybe 7 or 8 different factions for Bushido, and you can actually buy a faction box for each of the Bushido factions for about the same price as the starter sets, which is really neat. Really not an expensive game to get into, and I can't wait to try it out. It's gonna be cool. And And Al says, I use white or light grey for contrast primer. GW made it sound like you had to use their primers with contrast, but I've had perfectly good results with Halford's primer at half the price, to be honest. That's good to know, buddy. And like I said, I will probably pick up just like you've said, a light coloured kind of grey, that sort of thing, to be fair. Don't really need much other than that. But yeah, we shall see. Thanks for the advice as well, Paul. And Donald does go to say for Warcry, 100% new box sets like the Cypher Lords. It's okay, but thanks for elaborating on it. Yeah, we'll definitely get more sets like that, no doubt, I would have thought. As soon as you don't start to get releases for Warcry, that's when you want to worry, because you probably won't get new stuff for it for quite some time, similar to like Kill Team. The only difference between the two games is Warcry is its complete separate own game to Age of Sigmar. Although it uses a lot of the models, it doesn't rely on the release schedule for Age of Sigmar, whereas Kill Team goes pretty much in line with the 40k universe and their release schedule, which is why they've waited for Pariah Nexus to all drop for 40k to then release some Kill Team stuff for it. So it's interesting how they do it that way. And that's why I'm pretty confident for another year, if not 2 years, we're not going to get a reboot yet for Kill Team. Just because I think if they're going in line with the current release schedule for 40k and they're updating Space Marines and Necrons, why would you only update them and then not update the rest of them? So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, in terms of Warcry, but you'll definitely get new box sets. I think they'll plan to release more for like the AOS factions so that you can get started with them for Warcry, and they'll probably do brand new stuff as well, I should imagine. But they have done a lot of Chaos Mortal warbands, though, in factions, so I think they'd have to have quite a lot of ideas, though, to do more Chaos stuff. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Josh? Do you think they'll...
I hope so. I quite like the Chaos factions for Warcry. I think they're very unique and really different from any of ours. So
I agree.
I hope they release a couple of more.
Whoops. Sorry, guys, if that deafened everyone. Just dropped my knife. Say again, but sorry.
I just wish there was a bit more competitive with the other armies.
What, the Chaos ones?
Yeah, they're not very competitive compared to, I don't know, say, the Goblins. And
kind of, yeah. Some of them are, I thought. I mean, it depends, really. Like, I found some of them are just, like... I mean, you'll see how the Unmade did today when against the Skaven, the battle report that will come out this week. But I find Splintered Fang quite strong.
Yeah, they're probably my favourite.
Yeah, I find any faction that gets given low point cost models generally do well in Warcry. That's the only issue I have with Warcry, is that Swarm will always win you games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, really. But I know what you mean. But I will be excited to see if they do create any new ones, I guess, as I'm always happy for any new skirmish stuff from GWs. They're good with me. And I think, as I've said, guys, it looks like, and Rua asked the question earlier, to be fair, and said, Ruas mentioned that about the new Bladeborn box set and game that they're bringing out. It would not surprise me if a lot of your new Warcry releases end up being that you can actually use and download the cards for the new Warhammer Underworlds warbands, and they are kind of the new warbands that you'll be able to use in Warcry. That wouldn't surprise me, because with COVID and everything, it allows GW to lay back on a couple of the normal games and just invest into one with the models, but still give two different games new models, if you like. So yeah, that's my thoughts. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Be interesting to see, won't it? Well, that's my first model kind of built whilst I've been talking to you guys. So that's the new Slanesh Mortal Leader, I believe. I can't remember her name. But yeah, very cool. And David says, Bat Hair Vampire doesn't look great to me, but I like the rest of the new stuff. Yeah, I prefer the new Soulblight Warhammer Underworlds Warband. They look pretty cool. I do like the look of those. Wasn't so sure about the new hero model. I know Josh said he liked it. It wasn't too bad. I didn't have anything against it, but there we go. And David says, contrast highlight, weather done. Yeah, exactly, but that's what I'm looking forward to. And just contrast and highlights probably for me, unless I'm obviously doing anything that needs weathering on it. But yeah, looking forward to it. Less for me to do is always great for the channel. Charles says that looks awesome. Not sure what he was referring to there. I must have missed a comment when it came out, but I'm guessing you mean maybe Bushido, or do you mean... I don't know. Because I can see Elderblog saying, Luke, I am very interested in what Bushido will be like. I think it's going to be cool, man. I'm interested as well. Obviously, I haven't received it yet. But I've received the terrain for it. So I'm, like I say, I'm building away and we'll be painting the terrain soon enough. And that won't be contrast. That'll be paints because it's MDF. But I'm excited too, buddy. Don't worry. There'll be plenty for it when it arrives. Without a doubt, I should be able to do solo stuff with it as well. Until we can get back in the studio, which I'm so eager to do. I'm dying not being able to have opponents to play with. It's horrible.
Click up into one of your brothers to play.
Oh, it's mad, mate. The fact that I've always done this and now do a channel and everything for it, and I've got 2 younger brothers, and neither of them have ever been the slightest bit interested in miniature gaming. I like the video games, but yeah.
Not bothered about miniature.
Hey?
Not bothered about miniature games.
No. The thing is, they don't even like RTS stuff either. On like, they don't have the patience for any of it. So I used to have an old friend who lived down my road, who was very much like my brother, really, and he used to be. I used to be able to get him a bit more into it because he used to play card games like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. So he kind of got a bit interested in it. But I've got other friends that like it, and I've got all you guys. So I don't need necessarily my brothers to. But in a situation like this, you're right, it would be very handy. And let's have a look here. Elderblog says, I have to say we are in a good age for skirmish games. Exactly, buddy. And that's why I decided to start up the channel. Because I knew that skirmish games were becoming a more popular thing, and I wanted there to be a place to honor skirmish games and to be able to play them. And I think it's really exciting times for the channel. I mean, we've had to go backwards to go forwards in recent times in terms of content and things, but obviously COVID's gotten in the way as well, and we started to do these live streams, which is really, really cool. And obviously, yeah, like you say, there's all these skirmish games that are coming out. I don't know if anybody actually saw that. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's like a sci-fi cyberpunk style game that's coming out, skirmish game, that is purely 3D printable. So the miniatures are, so you just pay like $10 for the miniatures, a warband, and then you're able to just print them all yourself. So it looks really, really cool. And I think the Kickstarter's up for it, but I can't remember the name of it. I will just search it quickly. So just talking about recent stuff anyway. Saw it was on tabletop a little while ago, Beast of War. Grid Wars Age of Cyberpunk is what it's called. And the models look really cool for 3D printed models, to be fair. But yeah, that might be one we'll look into in the future. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We
Yeah, you
shall
can get
see.
some like 3D printed models.
Yeah, definitely. And David says, all right, chores done, time for skeletons. Don't blame you, buddy. Good on you. If anybody's joining us, guys, thanks for joining us. Yeah, just a nice chill evening chatting about skirmish games or games in general, wargaming in general. And I'm on the sweets and the Pepsi, ready for the Super Bowl later. But if you're only just joining us, let us know where you're watching from, what you're up to. Are you chilling, or are you just wargaming, or are you hobbying? Do let us know. I'm intrigued. And I'm working on the Warhammer Underworlds Direchasm. I've already just built, and they're nice and easy to do on a stream because they're the quick fit, quick build stuff, easy to build. So yeah. And Al says, I've really got to break into my Legions of Nagash Warcry box. I got a Vampire Lord to use as a hero too. Yeah, man, therefore. And Ruas321 says it's going to be an expensive year for me with Soul Blight, Warhammer Quest, and potentially Age of Sigmar 3.0. So looking like, yeah, Age of Sigmar might get a third edition, isn't it, at the end of this year? But how COVID will affect that, I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. But yeah, Soul Blight, Warhammer Quest. Good year for fantasy fans by the looks of things this year. Also, I'd love to hear people's thoughts. What do people think about Warcry? Do people think that it'll just stay as it is, or do you think we'll ever get a second edition for Warcry, or do you think it'll just die out as a game? What do people think? Do people think they'll just completely reboot it and do a separate new game, or do people think we'll actually get a second edition for it? I mean, it's probably a little ways off that anyway happening, but yeah, I'm intrigued.
I think it'll be one of them games that will just die off eventually, personally.
Yeah, it seems like one of those more individual games, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They always just try new things, I guess, but which is sad from a skirmish perspective, really. But then I suppose for us, it's good because we get brand new games, maybe. I don't know. Don't know what to think of it.
Yeah, I mean, Warcry's my favourite game, but I reckon,
yeah, I know.
You know, it will die off.
Yeah, it will do eventually. What they replace it with, you just never know, do you, really? But it has kind of become their Age of Sigmar skirmish game, really, so it's interesting.
Yeah, if there's a new edition, and I don't think they'll need a revamp Warcry anyway, because
probably not. No,
they've just released Catacombs, so
yeah, very true.
They need to edit Warcry.
Yeah.
So
I might do a cheeky solo bat rep actually for Age of Sigmar skirmish, just a bit of a callback maybe.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. We've got a couple of ideas of things I want to do over the next couple of weeks anyway, because we've just had Kill Team this last week, and then it'll be Warcry this week, and then we'll have a couple of weeks of different other games, and then we'll move back into that. I'm not sure when I'm going to get Bushido as well. I'm also doing more beginner's guide videos, folks, for different games that we receive and whatnot. So I'll bring those out, but I won't do them when we're live anymore. I'll just do them as their own separate thing because they don't take me too long to do. So I'm quite happy to do those. So I think I've got one coming out on Tuesday for Bot War. So it'll be a proper beginner's guide to Bot War. So if anybody's interested in that, you can check that out. I think it'll be Tuesday that'll drop. So
did you already drop it?
Hey?
Did you already drop the Bot War one?
I think it's on Patreon. I think
it's on Patreon.
Because obviously Patreon members get it earlier, and then so Patreon members got it a couple of days ago, but it won't come out till Tuesday on actual YouTube.
Okay. So YouTube notified me.
Yeah. That's probably what it is. David says 5 Gravewraith Stalkers to go, and I'm done. I've done the Nighthaunt, half of Soul Wars, the big starter. Sounds good, bud. I want to get some of those Dread-Scythe Harridans or something they're called? The Screaming Banshees that the new ones you can get from the Death Alliance book for Nighthaunt. I wouldn't mind getting that because you can get that easy to build set of them, I think. Because you can get the normal Mimorn Banshees, and I think you can get the Dread-Scythe Harridans, whatever they're called, as a second small box for them. I wouldn't mind picking them up for my Nighthaunt before they go out of stock and whatnot, so out of print. So I wouldn't mind adding those to our Nighthaunt because they've got a really cool new ability you can use in Warcry. So I'm curious about that. But good to see you still working on your Nighthaunt, pal. And Al says I can't see Warcry 2.0 for a long while. Yeah, I don't think we ever will necessarily get it, but I just thought it was kind of a funny thing to bring up. Well, not funny, but just an interesting thing to bring up, see what people's thoughts were on Warcry in general, really. And Elderblog says, I think they need a gateway to Age of Sigmar, so long as there is no replacement gateway, then it will remain. I agree, pal. I agree. I think that's definitely the case. Yep, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And hey ho, we might. Who knows? We might end up just getting not a reboot for Warcry. They might keep the rules, but they might bring out like a new starter set and a new. As the world of Age of Sigmar changes, they might come out of the 8 points and give us a whole new kind of location and backstory
cool.
To Warcry alongside the new Age of Sigmar 3rd edition, because you don't know where the story's going to go. That could be pretty cool, like Josh says. So I'll look forward to what they might do with that, without a doubt. And David says, do it. Age of Sigmar Skirmish or Realm Quest. Probably won't be Realm Quest, bud, but Age of Sigmar Skirmish. I'm tempted to maybe do an old style bat rep. Would be pretty cool, and I've got tons of 3x3 mats, so it's easy enough to do. Just be a case of obviously I haven't got Age of Sigmar rules, but you can download them online, can't you? So for free, generally, off of GW still, I think the War Scrolls and things.
Yeah, pretty sure you can. Yeah,
and then obviously the skirmish rules are just a watered down version of Age of Sigmar rules, so you don't even really need the free Age of Sigmar rules really. It's a very unbalanced game. It always has been Age of Sigmar Skirmish, but it's pretty cool, and I can do a nice mix of terrain with it as well, which is nice. So yeah, I think it might be on the cards, that one, David, to be fair. I think next week might be, as in week after this week, after Warcry, do completely different game to Games Workshop, something different, and then the following week to that might well be Age of Sigmar Skirmish. We'll see, bud. We shall see.
I'll be looking forward to that.
What's that?
Age of Sigmar Skirmish.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I might actually do. Either for our Patreons, I'll put up a poll of the factions we could do for Age of Sigmar Skirmish, and people can vote on a faction face-off for Age of Sigmar Skirmish for that game. How does that sound? Either that, or I'll just plonk it on YouTube and everybody can vote. But the only trouble with YouTube is you can only put up to 4 or 5 choices for a poll on YouTube, which sucks. So I'll probably do it on Patreon for our members, and then if it's a draw on Patreon, I'll put it up on YouTube then and to finalize it. We'll see. That'll be a nice little thing for our members. Who knows? Elderblog says, like Combat Patrol, hurt kill team a lot. Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it, mate? And don't at all be surprised if when Age of Sigmar 3rd edition comes out, you get an Age of Sigmar 3rd edition Combat Patrol type situation. That would not surprise me at all, because I reckon Combat Patrol's been a big hit for GW. I know a lot of people that got into Combat Patrol and bought stuff when that came out, and the number of people that bought Indomitus was insane. They must have made so much dollar from that. Ruas321 says, I hope Warcry stays for a long time. It's the best way to get into Age of Sigmar, so I could imagine it being here for a while. Yeah, me too, buddy. I don't know this disappear for a while at all, and even if it did, and they stopped, doing stuff for it, which will happen eventually, obviously, possibly, I don't know, but people will still play it, definitely. We'll still end up probably covering it on the channel. It'll always be the case. L says, it's a shame Age of Sigmar Skirmish is wildly imbalanced, or we'd have played it more, but Warcry was kind of the death of AOS Skirmish. Yeah, it still remains there as a game, and as I've always said, Age of Sigmar Skirmish isn't really a proper rule set. That's why it just reduces the number of rules you can use for normal Age of Sigmar to allow you to play each model individually, essentially. It's very strange, but it can work well if it just invalidates a lot of the models and the rules and abilities and things in the game, which makes it doesn't flesh out the game very well. But yeah. Ruas321 says Mimon Banshees. No, it's not the Mimon Banshees. It's the other version of them that you can build. It's Dread Scythe Harridans or something like that, I think they're called. I can't remember. Can't remember what they're called. It is in my Death Grand Alliance book, which I could just get out now, but it is behind me on my bookshelf, so not right now, not whilst we're live. David says, I said I wouldn't buy any more Nighthorn until I finished the box, and amazingly I stuck to it. Well done, bud. I wish I could say the same.
It's a medal for that.
Yeah, but then again, I get hold of so much stuff for the channel now, guys, that I have to kind of switch between projects, to be fair. There's Josh's Black Panther, looking good. That is Black Panther, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Killmonger's the standing one. And there he is.
Yep.
Cool. I haven't quite yet completed any of the models. I'm busy chatting to people, which I'm quite happy with. Al says, we pulled back on Combat Patrol to focus more on Kill Team, but I really enjoyed the Combat Patrol I played. Yeah, it's quite cool. I think we just covered Combat Patrol because a lot of people wanted us to at the time. But given that Kill Team is the more actual skirmish game that GW do for 40k, that will be the main one we cover from them, really. But we might go back to Combat Patrol once at some point. But it's kind of like Star Wars Legion. It can be played as a skirmish game, but you still play like troops in small numbers. You don't actually play individual models, and I class individual models more as a skirmish game. But yeah, Combat Patrol was good fun. It was good to cover a bit of it. But you have to stay topical on a YouTube channel, so yeah. Donald Cowie says, I can see Warcry initiative system being carried over to AOS 3.0. Oh, you mean the dice? Good God, that would be interesting. I'm not so sure about that, bud, to be honest, but it would be cool to see how it would work. The only issue is with that, bud, is when you've got a full codex full of abilities and rules and things, it's hard to base that on a 6 dice roll, on a 6 dice value. That's quite hard to pull off. It works nicely for a little skirmish game where you've got a little card of abilities, like 5 or so abilities to use. Not so sure necessarily about full-size Age of Sigmar, but it's a neat idea. I like the idea. We'll have to wait and see, eh?
Stormcast will suffer, though, if that was the case.
If the what, sorry?
People like Stormcast and low-cal model armies will suffer in Age of Sigmar if they did that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they could do a different take on it, I suppose, is what he's saying, but to help with that. But I think it's what makes Warcry, Donald, a neat little game in its own right. It was a really cool new mechanic that GW gambled on, and it's worked nicely, hasn't it? So I don't necessarily think they will, but it's a cool little theory. You never know. And David says the healer ghosts with scythe hands. I think so. I think those are the ones I'm on about. I'm just going to search for them now because it's doing my head in. I'll find out for you. They're the ones that scream, and they've actually got a new ability in Warcry where they do it. Bear with me, guys. I will find out because it's going to do my head in. And if they do still have the small box set for them, I will get hold of them because they're dirt cheap. The easy the box sets are. You get like four of them in the box usually, I think. Yeah. Nice ones. Yeah, Dread Scythe Harridans, I was right. Yeah. Those are the ones. And I'm like I say, I'll have a look now, but I'm pretty sure. So you've got the 4 box set of Mymorn Banshees, the easy to build. I thought you got the Dread Scythe ones as well, or you could do, but I could be wrong maybe. Who knows? Can't see them right now. No, I don't think they do. Unless some stores might still have them, like probably, to be fair. Some local gaming stores. And David says, yeah, it's not easy to build in chat, especially popping up the chat on screen. Yeah, it's the way it is, but to be fair, I still get bits done. But yeah, I do like to more chat to you guys if possible, so it is what it is. But I generally leave the comments for a little while and get bits done, and then I can get bits done whilst you guys are popping the comments back in. So once I've caught up. So yeah. And then Josh, that's why Josh is here as well. He's making up on the hobbying for me. And then Josh can get involved whenever he wants to as well. So it's handy having somebody else here with me. So yeah. But let me know how you guys are getting on with your projects, because like I say, I'm working on my Direchasm Warhammer Underworlds warbands. I've been waiting to get these guys out and finally get these built. And like I say, it's quite easy for me to just get on with these whilst we're live. So pretty neat. And like I say, I'm staying up for the Super Bowl later, so can't wait for that.
He's playing in the Super Bowl.
Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Can't believe I remember that. There you go.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know nothing about American football. But...
I know. I remember saying last week, I think people were talking about it being on this Sunday. So I think I said last Sunday that I'd probably be up for it. So
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting one. Looking forward to see how it goes. I've never been a big fan of American football because it's so stop-start and it's a bit tiring to watch. But when it's the big Super Bowl, I don't mind watching it because you get the halftime adverts and stuff for the big movies and whatnot, and there's always big Marvel trailer reveals and stuff, which I'm always excited for, and yeah, I'll look forward to that.
Yeah, I can only support one team. That's heartbreaking enough.
West Brom.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You know.
I'll be very surprised if they stay up again this year, bud. To be fair.
I am, to be fair. I've already written us off.
But Wolves got a good Wolverhampton Wanderers got a good result again today in the UK.
No.
Yeah, it's a good draw against Leicester because Leicester are a good side this year again.
Yeah.
So yeah, went pretty well.
Yeah, so.
Say again.
You've been on a bad run as well, haven't you? So.
Yeah, I think we've settled down a bit more at the back now in the last couple of games, which is nice to see. So that's always handy.
Yeah. No, we're just doomed.
You're just doomed, yeah.
You're doomed.
They're not doing so well, are they? To be fair.
No, actually. Gonna check the Sheffield United score. What we're on here.
But let us know if you're only just joining us, guys, what you are up to. Always happy to know what you're getting on with. As I say, I'm working on some Underworlds. Josh is working on his Black Panther and whatnot for Marvel. There you go.
And
I'm just working on this big Slangor model for the Slaanesh mortals for this warband. Pretty cool models. They're freaky as well. The Slangor, I think they're Slangors. Oh
yeah, they are pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty neat. And like I said at the start of the stream, guys, if anyone didn't see what was I saying? The Warhammer community post earlier before the stream started, they have shown off all the models they're releasing for the Slaanesh mortals, the Sibrite. That'll go on pre-order next week or the week after, I think, because they do it each 2 weeks now, don't they? I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Every 2 weeks, so.
I'll probably get
says at the Villa.
Yeah, I died a little bit when I read that. Just a little bit.
Anybody else in the chat from the UK or anybody that happens to watch Premier League? Who do you support? I'm interested to know, so long as it's not West Brom. Oh, the banter. We'll just have to do a Black Country Derby watch along at some point.
Well,
be completely off topic on this channel, but you know.
Watch us win.
Yeah, well, true, yeah. Because you always win the derby. It's really weird.
Yeah. Even though we're shocking.
Yeah, it's always a very strange one, that is.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, guys, now that I'm looking at it up close and I'm starting to build it, this Sibrite Slangor model is really cool, actually. It's made me really tempted to get a Slaanesh Mortal Warband. Because I think the only demon god we don't have anything for is Slaanesh. Oh, also, something I haven't even brought up yet. Who's seen the new trailer for the Total War 3? That looked amazing. For anybody who's into Total War, I know you're not, are you, Josh? I don't think really.
No, can't get into it.
But oh my god, that new trailer looked epic. You got the new what's the old Mongolian-based faction that used to be in Fantasy that they've announced to be in Total War 3. They got their polar bear riders and stuff. They look amazing.
Wow.
I would love them to bring that faction into Warcry and bring it into current Age of Sigmar. That would be amazing. But anybody who's seen the Total War 3 trailer, what do you think of that? Because that looks amazing. And Elderblog straight in there. Polar bears! They were amazing, but if it really did actually inspire me to purely make a Warcry warband, maybe from Cities of Sigmar or something, and take some cavalry models and some polar bear and put some polar bear riders on them and do a warband based on that Total War faction. I can't remember what they're called now. It's really annoying me what the faction name is. But yeah, I'm really tempted to do my own little project with that. I'm not going to lie. Do a Cities of Sigmar force and change up the models for for those. That would be really, really cool. Imagine changing up some horse riders for some polar bear riders. That would be pretty sweet. And David says, I'm all about the ice powers and polar bear cavalry. Definitely. Yep. And Al says, hyped for Total War 3. And he says, Kislev. That's the one, Kislev. Thank you, bud. Yeah, that was it. They're based on like the Mongolian warriors. So they're all about the ice powers, and they ride the polar bears and all that jazz. They look super cool.
I should do a skirmish tournament of Total War.
Say again?
So maybe you should do a little tournament for Total War and skirmish.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. I will. I'll get playing some Total War 2 again because I played a good bit of it, but I got a bit bored of it. It gets a bit samey. So I will probably get back into a bit more of it, ready for Total War 3 to drop, and then I probably will end up doing Kislev as my faction of choice for that. Even though the demons also look awesome. If you haven't watched the trailer for that, guys, go and check it out, because even if you don't like Total War, the cinematics for that trailer are just awesome.
I might give it a look.
Oh yeah, if you haven't seen it, but just check it out, because even if you don't like Total War, looks awesome. The bloodthirster coming out at the end is just like, whoa, amazing. David says, I'm not a fan of polar bears in real life, though, or being eaten. Yeah, true that. But David says, I really like the old world hobgoblins. Yep. Pretty cool. And Elderblog says, oh, that would be so fun, like a community online battle. Yeah. Maybe we'll do it with some Patreon members or something, buddy. Maybe it's something that we'll offer to our members if they want to get involved. We'll do like an online Total War showdown between us and Patreon members. How cool would that be? Good bit of fun. But if Patreon members have any ideas for any other games, except for Tabletop Simulator, I'm not keen on the idea of Tabletop Simulator. But if there are any other Warhammer-based games or anything that maybe our Patreon members would like to have a bit of a multiplayer game on or something, you know, maybe an Among Us game or something like that would be funny.
I'll be
let us know. Yeah, it could be quite fun. Who knows? And Al Cluley says Kislev seem a bit like Northern Alliance in Kings of War. Yeah, they are kind of similar, aren't they, buddy? They're a bit more Viking, though, I think, a bit more Nordic. Whereas the Kislev are definitely more like inspired by like your Mongolian kind of fighters and all that jazz. But similar kind of idea with like the ice powers and stuff, definitely that theme. And Arnold Agans has joined us evening with a super chat for $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, buddy, for doing that. Anybody who wants to drop a super chat or a super sticker, please do. It helps support the channel, helps support me to be able to drive the content and whatnot. And obviously, when we do these every week, it's nice to gain these backing like that. So thanks so much, Arnold, buddy, and thanks for joining us again this week. Evening to you too. Let us know what you're working on tonight, pal. Interested to know. But other than that, he says evening, and yeah, well, I'm going to start working on some more. I've got this Slangor I'm building here is close to getting done, so I'm going to I'm nearly finished him. It's just a bit awkward to kind of pin in place, so that's the one. Okay. I do like the easy build stuff from Warhammer Underworlds as well. And the handy thing is you can use a lot of it for Warcry, so he's starting to come together there. Look. There he goes. Really cool models. Got to pop his head on in a minute, but very cool. But yeah, if anybody's only just joining us, guys, such as Arnold, please do feel free to drop into the comments. And as he's done, you can super chat or anything like that with topics and whatnot if you wish to. Yeah, we've just been talking about Total War 3 because that looks pretty neat after the trailer and whatnot. And we've been talking about the few board game level games that GW announced earlier in the week as well on community. Which is pretty neat. I think they also released another article for Kill Team Update in the week as well that we haven't talked about since, which updated us more on the actual boards that you get in the Kill Team Pariah Nexus expansion, and as to what some mechanics of the boards and whatnot, which looks quite interesting. A few new things being brought in with that, so I'm interested to see what changes that will make to the game, to be honest. Looking for his head here. number 8 and number 9. Member number 9.
I hate painted eyes.
Eyes. Yeah, I've always struggled with eyes. Eyes are a weird one, to be fair. Oh, that's not good. This is my only problem with using snips.
Elder Blogs just sent a sticker as well. Oh, super chat.
Let's have a look. Thank you so much, dude. Elder Blog chipping in there as well. Thank you, mate. Sunday Fun Day, daughter's up from nap, so got to go. Cheers, all. Thank you for joining us, buddy. And no worries, pal. I hope you enjoyed joining us anyway for the first hour or so. So thanks for joining us, buddy, and thanks so much for your super chat, pal. It's always a big plus when anybody can back us like that. So thank you so much, pal. As always, amazing you are, Kev, and I hope you're well and your work's going okay. And thanks for joining us, pal. We will see you later. And Al says, here's hoping all this time not rolling dice. Let's me store up some better luck with dice rolls, especially on command point rerolls. yeah, Al's just like loading right now. Like you guys haven't seen Al, he's just kind of loading over like a month or so. His dice rolls and his luck. He's just charging up his luck.
He's making weighted dice as we speak.
Ready for when he comes back.
Yeah.
And Al the blogs off. There we go. Cheers, pal. See you soon. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, and feel free to get into the chat, guys, with any topics or your thoughts on anything of recent news or whatever you want to chat about. But just going to get on with some building here.
I think it's done these, actually.
Say again, mate?
I think of one that's done.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's contrast for you. Like, this is exactly why I want to get into contrast paints. Like, you've managed to get that done on the stream. Would have taken me way longer with paints.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, you got, I suppose, detail and things like that if you wanted to do highlights and stuff. But
yeah, I don't bother with that because
no, exactly.
It's
yeah. So, but because usually a lot of the time I wouldn't bother with highlighting even for the channel because I just don't have the time for it. So long as they're tabletop standard, I'll whack them on.
Yeah.
But I do like to be able to highlight models if I have the time. So I'll be interested to see if I can do that in the future.
Yeah, it's good practice, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be honest, painting's probably my worst bit about a hobby. So it's
I sometimes enjoy it. Depends what I'm painting. I think everybody's the same, really. But I it's ironic. Like I used to hate painting. I now hate gluing, and I quite like painting. But it does also depend what I'm actually painting. To be honest, it's a bit of a hit and miss, really. To be honest, but yeah, it's an odd one.
Yeah, Black Panther's quite easy to paint anyway because he's made it black.
Who's that?
Black Panther. It's quite easy to paint.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? Yeah. So you're mostly just using you're actually using a black contrast, are you?
I didn't actually. I mixed a bit of black and a bit of Vallejo dark blue together.
Oh, right, yeah.
To make a sort of a really dark blacky blue, just to give it a bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Fair
enough.
Colour, then a bit of white over it to get the detail.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm just gluing, so it doesn't really take much explaining. I've actually resorted to metal glue for my plastics because I've run out of plastic glue, so I do actually need to contact our sponsor to send some more glue, actually. Might see if we can do it with our send it with our contrasts. But I've nearly glued up this Slangor model, so thinking about it, actually, I might, with some of the stuff I've got in this Underworld set, I might nearly have enough for a Sybarite warband, if not far off. Probably not far off.
That's very cool.
So I'll have a decent number of models, but I'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Just need to wait for the bases dry, then.
I've already got the rules for them because they're in the Chaos Grand Alliance books with everything else. So we picked up all the books. So got the rules for anything I do want to make nowadays for Warcry. Just whether you have the models or not, I guess. I'd still love a proper Seraphon warband for the channel, to be fair, but I know that you have them, Josh. So whenever you come in with them, then generally we can get them on anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to send you some stuff over you want to borrow stuff.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty cool. I like Seraphon anyway, so I wouldn't mind being able to get hold of my own warband from anywhere. But I've said that for ages, but you always get new releases and stuff that get in the way of these projects. So it's like I've just said about that Kislev idea, the Kislev warband. I'd love to do one, but it's like time and money. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just refilling my Pepsi.
I think we're going to start Crossbones. Boy, I'm still on the chat.
Well, he's black as well, so
yeah,
might be an ideal one to do.
All the paint's in front of me, so far.
Yeah, like I say, I was super excited to get these contrasts and have a play with them because, yeah. Al actually does say there. Just check that out a sec. Al says the contrast black and white are game changers. Yeah.
White.
Hey?
I like the white.
You don't like it?
No.
But maybe that is because of what your the base coat you're doing it over, maybe?
Maybe.
Could be. Because if you base coat in white over, if you're contrasting white over white, then might not be so good.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's the only one I haven't gone with is the white.
I think I might try and get a hold of, like Al said earlier, get a hold of some light grey spray paints.
Yeah.
Like really light grey. I think might be quite ideal.
Yeah, I mean these are light grey. They'll probably look white.
Oh yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I must admit that I always find black and white a pain in the ass to paint with. So it might be ideal.
Yeah.
And David said, I forgot, can post links to Games Workshop's Night Haunt, Dread Scythe Harridans. Oh, thank you, pal. Yeah, I think those are probably what you're on about. I'll check it out after, buddy, because I can't use the link right now, but I think that's right, to be fair. And Al says, I hate gluing. I like posing the models, but otherwise it's a pure chore. Yeah, exactly. Nightmare, innit? But yeah, I don't like gluing models anymore, but I'm quite happy painting. And the nice thing about having the channel as part hobby and whatnot, and hopefully more than that in the future, obviously, but it does push you to paint and glue stuff. So it's really nice to have.
Airbrush speeds painting up as well.
Yeah, airbrush is another thing, I suppose. Is another option, isn't it, for anybody looking to improve with speed and things like that for when they're getting on with things, I guess.
Yeah, I literally just undercoat mine with an airbrush now.
Have you?
Yeah.
Fair dues.
Spray black and do like cinema highlights.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Make
I know.
Unpredictable, isn't it, in the UK?
Excuse me, guys. Yeah, as I've said already, like when I start contrasting stuff, I'll definitely start highlighting stuff more as well, because I'll have way more time to be able to do some highlighting. I'm on purpose not starting any of my projects right now painting, which is why I'm doing a lot of gluing, unless it's for terrain and stuff, because shouldn't really use contrast for that anyway. Only for models. So I've kind of been doing some terrain projects and whatnot and some building, but as soon as I get the contrast, I will be starting on things like my Dark Angels project, my speed painting up the rest of my Malifaux that I need to be doing. But I'm also prioritizing games that I'm actually able to play by myself to a certain degree anyway, because I won't be able to play things like Malifaux and Warhammer Underworlds until we're out of lockdown anyway in the UK. So it's a bit of an odd one, really, guys. But yep, it's one of them.
Yeah, I'm hoping my club will be back open this year sometime.
Yeah, exactly. 3 Spires, yeah. Hopefully be able to get that going again, bud.
Yeah, it will definitely get going again when this is all over, whether it's this year, next year. Definitely.
Yep. Hopefully. And David says, if the easy-to-build stuff disappears from AOS like it did 40k, then I need to buy Reichner, the Grimhaler, Dreadblade Harrows, and Myrmorn Banshees before they disappear. Yeah, would make sense, buddy, because like you say, they'll probably will disappear. So I wouldn't blame you for doing that. To be fair, wouldn't be a bad idea, would it? But yeah, I am definitely curious at looking into making my own Kislev warband for Warcry, because I know you can get some Celtic polar bear riders from, I think it might be Cromlech or someone like that does them. They're really cool. So might be an idea. Might have to do that. So I might have to plan out the models I need to get and whatnot. And then also work out what the best kind of proxies they'd be for Cities of Sigmar models. So I'll have to work out what the best kind of faction to go with is to proxy them for. But I would have thought it would be a Cities of Sigmar type situation.
Yeah.
Because you got the wizards and stuff as well. So you could use the equivalent of like the Ice Queen and stuff.
No,
which would be cool. Get like an ice wizard.
yeah, I found some sea elves on a 3D printing site, which I'm tempted to buy.
All right, yeah.
IDF warband.
All right, yeah.
Because I want to play him, but I don't want to invest much.
Well, you say that, but like how much do you reckon you'd end up spending just to print those sea elves? Because the start collecting set has literally a full warband of options for IDF, and that would only be like 40 quid for you to spend.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to decide whether it's worth me 3D printing them or,
Yeah. It's hard to say with that, to be honest.
But the sharks look a lot cooler 3D printed, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's
not something I'd really usually do on the channel anyway. To be fair, I might only do like a one-off game with these Kislev things because I don't like really doing unofficial stuff, but definitely for a personal project, doing like a Kislev warband based on this new Total War would be. It's inspired me, I must admit. I must say.
Yeah,
they look really cool.
Hey, like the IDF will be just like my sort of home army kind of thing, warband. Yeah. So. One front whole army, but
yeah. No, I'm intrigued.
So.
And there you go. It's Crossbones you started to work on, yeah?
Yep.
Nice.
Quick and easy with the contrasts. So.
Yeah. And David says Estrella Soulbright, Lord Arcanum, is a pretty great looking model too, though. So I should probably grab her. Sounds pretty cool. I'm actually going to be looking into what I want for Frostgrave as well. I'm thinking about getting some new ruins for Frostgrave. We've got the map for it. Maybe pick up some just generic skellies and things like that for it. Maybe some new monster models. Maybe I'll wait and see with that. But I've got to read a little more into it, and I'm obviously need to get hold of my own unique wizard for the game, which should be pretty fun. Because that's the whole idea with Frostgrave is you kind of go for your own model and whatnot, like design your own wizard before you start the game and your own apprentice, and then you kind of hire mercenaries and things. So it's all based around wizards and magic. So I'm excited to see how that goes and to get going on that maybe. And then I'll also look forward to Stargrave when that comes out later in the year. That's going to be April, so we'll definitely cover that one as well. Probably have that book on pre-order and maybe some of their specific models for the game. Yeah, should be an interesting one as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Frostgrave. Just look
Yeah, it's very narrative driven, I think, but I'm intrigued. Looks pretty fun.
Yeah. Anything wizards in, really,
Yeah.
Takes my attention.
I just saw actually yesterday that Beast of War posted on the news feed that somebody's developing a new Avatar Last Airbender RPG game, which I thought would be pretty cool because I love Avatar Last Airbender universe. Yeah. I can imagine that would make a really good RPG because the characters and the backstory to that game are insane. To that series for a kids show. But that's why it was always so popular with everybody, let alone kids, I guess.
Yeah,
And I always said I'd love for him to do a miniature game for it, let alone the RPG. So it's not one we'll cover because it's not a miniature game; it'll just be an RPG. But
yeah. No, one of my characters in D&D was a monk who could,
that's cool.
Airbender, kind of.
Yeah, I've played D&D. I've played a dark elf. I've played a who have I played? Played an animal tamer, like a beast tamer.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I've had a couple, but I had to give up on D&D when I started doing the channel. So too much to do both, really. At least at the moment, anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll go back to it at some point.
No, I do like D&D myself.
Yeah, it is good. It's a get away from the real world, but I guess that's why we all do these hobbies anyway.
Yeah.
It's because these worlds that we play in and pretend to be part of are probably more interesting than our own world and less depressing than our own world. So totally, that's my reasoning for it a lot of the time, really. And then at the same time, it brings you closer with other people, that you a lot of the time that you don't even know.
Yes.
And one of the things I was most gutted about this year was just not being able to go to some of these events because I was so excited to be able to meet up with other people and have some drinks and play some games. And I would have spent the whole weekend at Games Expo easily. So, yes.
Yeah, I was gutted last year.
Yeah, last year was gutting, wasn't it? Let's hope that it picks up this year. I know Games Expo, UK Games Expo have rejigged for, I think, June, July, August time for this year. They're hoping that enough people will have vaccines to be able to do a Games Expo. If not, it wouldn't surprise me if they maybe just push it back to October at the latest, in which case it should definitely be okay by then. How well it'll still do, I have no idea. You would have thought once people start to get vaccines, people will be happy to go anyway, but you just don't know, do you? It's the trouble.
Yeah.
I suppose. But,
I mean, you couldn't social distance there, could you? But if everyone wore masks and whatnot, make it safe.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing. It's doable. And David said, did you see the GMG's Widgets and Wonders today? I've got an amazing starter kit. It's got an amazing starter kit for the Frostgrave Bestiary. Oh, cool. I know they do their own range buddy anyway, so I'm intrigued just to see what I can get hold of. But I haven't seen that one specifically, mate. I'll have to look into it. Thanks for the recommendation. When I was a kid, the only deep story cartoons we got was Robotech and the Transformers movie. Yeah. Surely the Transformers TV series as well, though, pal. Wasn't that back then? I would have thought. But, no, I see what you mean. Yeah. But if anybody's joining us, do feel free to get involved in the chat as well, guys. Let us know how your hobbying's going, if you're doing any, or if you want to bring up anything else, any other thoughts you might have. I'm happy to have a bit of a chat with you guys. Always happy to do that.
Does anyone else play any role-playing games out of interest? No, it's not Skirmish, but just thought why wasn't it?
Yeah, very true. It's not something we'll cover on the channel, unfortunately, but I would love to. It's one of them, isn't it? There's only so much you can do.
I mean, I could happily run a game if people are up for it, one-off kind of thing. But
yeah, that's true.
It's good. But depends if people want to or not, really.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it, really? Well, these Slaanesh mortal models are pretty tasty, I must say. They are very pretty models. For sure. Really, really nice. Just cut out another base here. I've nearly done this Slaanesh Mortal Warband, which is pretty good in its own right for one of these streams, because I never usually get too much done. Although I will say last week's was pretty successful, actually. I got all that. If anybody hasn't seen the Kill Team Bat Rep that I released this last week, that really nice table setup I did for the Kill Team game, which was Raven Guard versus Azayani Eldar. I did that really nice table setup, and I used the crates that I actually painted up on last week's stream. So all of those crates, pretty much, that you saw on that stream were painted up on that stream and put in the game the next day. So pretty insane.
That's pretty cool. I'm seeing it yet, I have to say.
Yeah, it's Kill Team's not as much your thing, anyway, is it? But
no, I do. I'll try to watch them.
Still flicker through them, yeah.
Yeah, but there's some more background noise and actual watch it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Okay.
And Arnold says, I'll be more active in like 15 minutes, involved in a Twitch channel as well at the moment. Sorry, be right back. No worries, pal. That's okay. Is there a topic for tonight, by the way? It's never is really that. I mean, it's anything from the past week, really, in to do with topics anyway, to be honest, buddy. Otherwise, it is just generally a hobby and chat, isn't it? So we can just chat about anything, really. Anything topical. We have been talking about what's it called? Just the Blade one, the board game earlier. Bladeborn. That was it. Yeah, the new game that got announced earlier in the week by GW, which is the Warcry crossed with the Warhammer Underworld, which looks pretty neat. That's one that we've been talking about. We'll be interested to see how that turns out when that comes out, for sure. And as I say, I'm just trying to stay awake and stay buzzing with some sugar so that I can watch Super Bowl later, which I'm actually really excited for. I'm not usually a fan of football, American football. It's very stop-start, but it's a bit slow to watch. But Super Bowl is always a big event, so happy to watch that. But no, bud, we're happy to talk about anything in the recent kind of skirmish gaming news, or just wargaming in general, to be fair, or anything you want to talk about, to be honest. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Let's see, that goes there. Oh, I see.
Has there been a release date for the board games?
No, I think they just said later in the year.
Okay, so
I would have thought they'd obviously release them all separately as well, but I'm not entirely sure. You just don't know GWD, but
no, they'll say later in the year. They're now pre-ordering next week, and it's like, okay, you know.
Oh, did they?
They do sometimes, yeah. I've noticed a couple of things that say it'll be out soon, and
no, to be honest, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Obviously,
have them pre-ordered a week after. So
yeah, they quite often do that, don't they?
Yeah, which is rather annoying, to be fair.
Coming later in the year, and then it's like, oh yeah, pre-order next week.
Yeah, it's like, okay. They give some people time to save if people need to save up. You know what I mean?
I know it's a bit. Obviously, they changed their release schedule and announcements, haven't they? Because and David says there, I think the box games usually get teased around 3 to 6 months before release. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was my kind of thoughts on it. You probably get them around summertime.
Yeah,
and obviously with COVID and everything, maybe even later. I don't know yet, really. But those kind of games are probably a lot easier for them to produce at the moment as well.
Yeah, they'll release them when everyone's allowed back out.
Hey?
I said they'll release them when everyone's allowed back out.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Although they probably don't want everybody to go back out GW, to be honest, because they've been earning so much cash through... they've been sold out pretty much every lockdown with most of their stuff. Like, they start collecting boxes, just go out, all their sprays, their paints and everything. They make bare dollar. They pretty much hired China to, like, produce Games Workshop goods. The entirety of China. So yeah, pretty mad. And Arnold says ordered the full range of Nostalgia 88 by War Colors. It's 99% equal to the old Citadel paints. Oh, that's interesting. It's not one I've heard of. So you obviously like the old Citadel paints then, bud. I do prefer the old Citadel paints, but not the pots they came in, because they used to dry out really, really easy. But I still don't really like Citadel paints for that reason anyway, so they dry out far too easily for my liking. which is another reason I can't wait to go to Contrast for the most part, because I'll save my paints, save so much money on paints long term. When they dry out and stuff, it's a nightmare. So there we go. David says, I'm chomping at the bit for a Space Marine Hero Series 4 teaser. Yeah, well, it's another one, isn't it, that people are quite enjoying at the moment, is the Space Marine Heroes. Quite a collector's thing, I believe, as well. So, never been one I've really looked into properly, to be honest, but I know what you mean. I'm actually chomping at the bit for some artwork or more based on their TV series stuff. Actually, I'm really excited to see how they do those. And me and Al, and I think Josh is saying we might do reaction videos maybe to the series when they come out. That could be quite cool. Have a chat with you guys about each episode after they come out, kind of thing. Especially for the Amazon one that they're doing, the Amazon Prime one based on. I think it's meant to be based on. It's based on the Inquisitor, isn't it? From what I remember seeing. I can't remember his name. Somebody will say in the comments.
Can't remember which one it was.
Yeah. And Arnold says, by the way, the rumor is that Curse City is going to be released for pre-order first half of March. I do hope that is true. Probably, pal. That sounds about right. Probably alongside Pariah Nexus, I would have thought. It wouldn't surprise me if they do them both in the same week. Wouldn't surprise me at all. They tend to do that with their skirmish stuff. They'll drop it all in 1 week, which is a pain in the ass for us. It was I can't remember. There was that one release window in December, and I was going on a holiday the next week. On the weekend that it all dropped.
That was books, wasn't it?
That was a ridiculous week for the channel. There was the 4 Grand Alliance Warcry books, the Tome of Champions, the Warcry Warband box sets, and Warhammer Underworlds Direchasm on the same release. So for us, it's a nightmare, but for them it makes sense because it's smaller box sets and things to be released. But when they do that, it's such a pain in the ass for the channel because we want to cover all of it, but it's a nightmare. But yes, mate, it wouldn't surprise me if the Ulfin Khan first set for that comes. Then wouldn't surprise me at all. I'm super excited for that Warhammer Quest, actually. I've never covered Warhammer Quest on the channel, so I'm excited to do that. I'm kind of hoping, though, pal, that if it does go up for pre-order first half of March, that we get it at the end of March, because hopefully by then we'll be out of lockdown, and I can maybe do that with Al on the channel or whoever wants to join me on that, because it's the kind of game that you kind of want to be able to do with somebody, because it's a bit more narrative. If it ends up being solo, then fine. Yeah. Same with Frostgrave, really, but I'll probably end up having to start Frostgrave by myself because I have no choice at the moment. But yeah, it is a bit sad, really. Right, the last model to put on his base for Lanesh Mortals. There we go. So that is the final one. That's like the archer up on his rock. He's pretty model, actually.
He's pretty cool.
And then we've got the female with her long ass halberd / spear. She's pretty cool. She's got it on her back. And then you got these big Slangor.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He's awesome. And then you got kind of the champion, the herald, if you like. She's the leader.
Oh wow!
So yeah, pretty awesome. Only four models in that warband. I think it's the same for the Lumineth warband though, which is interesting. Valsilak the Gifted is the name of the leader for the Slanesh. There you go. Start working on the Lumineth now. And the Lumineth models are seriously pretty. I really hope that they bring those kind of kangaroo riders that Lumineth got as well into Warcry in like a White Dwarf or something. I wouldn't mind one or two of them. They look quite funny.
Yeah, don't they?
Look quite cool, yeah. Don't mind me, guys, just eating my sweets to keep me going for Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl. Imagine that. Live event of Blood Bowl every year, real life.
That would be quite fun to watch, I think.
I prefer that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Arnold Degan says it's gonna be a pricey one, like Catacombs and up. Yeah, Blackstone Fortress was what, £120 over here, Josh, I think, if I remember right. Easily.
Oh yeah.
So you probably are looking. And David says, "Not if I'm sure if I'll be able to afford Warhammer Quest anytime soon." And Arnold says, "Yeah." Rob from Tabletop World said probably $300.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. To be honest, but we'll wait and see. It's looking like it's going to be in that direction, isn't it? But we'll see. Anybody else who's watching interested in Warhammer Quest?
I mean, I'm interested in it, but I probably wouldn't get it.
It doesn't make sense for you, though, I guess, but does it really?
I don't think it'll be worth me investing in it. That's the thing.
No. See, for the channel and things, like the models we get from it and things will probably be really handy for Warcry warbands and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
Like when Blackstone came out, we got Blackstone, but wasn't able to cover it at the time. But it was really handy to have the models for Kill Team.
Yeah.
As well. So it was a good investment, and it'll probably definitely be the same for Ulfin Khan. So we'll probably be able to make like Soul Blight Warband and all sorts from it. So should be pretty cool.
Hey, I mean, the models look fantastic in it, but
oh yeah, I mean we'll see when we how it plays out. I wonder if they'll do similar to Blackstone with the kind of tiles that you put together again to make up the maps. But obviously for like a town kind of setup, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I could use
be a board.
you see, so it could be. Again? I could use some of the models for D&D when I play that. So
yeah, true.
You know.
Yeah. Let's have a look here.
But likewise, I probably could print them anyway. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I am tempted, to be fair, to get us a 3D printer at some point, but there are things I want to invest in for the channel before then, like proper new camera, Bluetooth mics, all that kind of thing, wireless mics.
If there's anything you want printing, just give me a shout. And
yeah, true. True that. Yeah. I'm sure there will be at some point.
That's Crossbones. Oh, Killmonger.
Cool.
And then Black Panther.
Cool. Yeah. Cool, man. Arnold's just saying, bud, to maybe reposition your camera a tad.
Yeah.
Can you put it down at all?
Not.
I think it's probably just close to you. We can't really help that, to be fair.
Yeah.
There you go. That probably is a bit better.
So better?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I think when you go down to paint stuff or whatever, then they
yeah, it's really annoying.
Yeah. Al says, I'm curious about Warhammer Quest. Wouldn't mind having something to play solo, but I'm kind of spoilt now, so I'm not sure I could get into a solo game now. Yeah, exactly, buddy. It's the way it is when we've got the studio now, innit? Got plenty to do. I need to paint up and glue and paint up what you've got anyway, pal. You've got your Legions and Nagash to work on. And Al says, yeah, we've got do like a bit of co-op though, and did with Core Space. Yeah, Core Space was a cool little game, and there will be later this year, I think, the new expansion for Core Space as well, which I'll look forward to. So we'll look forward to a bit more Core Space. That was a really cool game, and that was Al that invested in that one as well. So I'm really glad that he did, because it was great fun. That was actually one at UK Games Expo, not last year but the year before, that had a massive setup for that. I remember it. It was really cool. It was good to see. And Arnold says, "Gonna watch Super Bowl tonight. Any of you gonna?" I'm guessing you mean Super Bowl.
Straight into
the Super Bowl, but yeah, in the US, I am staying up for it, mate. Yeah, that's why I'm eating my Haribo and my Skills here. I'm literally on the sugar levels because it's quite late here in the UK, and it's probably for the same for you, bud. You're Netherlands, aren't you? So you're probably gonna have to stay up late for that one as well. And I'm on the fizzies as well. So yep, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I won't be. I'll be going to bed, but I've got to have a kid to school.
I'll probably carry on building and maybe even painting some stuff whilst I watch that tonight, guys. I don't know. I might finish building these, to be honest. We shall see. Probably build one more of these models whilst I'm talking to you guys, and then we'll probably call it a day, but we shall see. See how we go. But who do people want to win tonight, though, if you are watching Super Bowl? I think it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers for me because they've got Tom Brady. So Tom Brady's the ledge. He's the man. Pretty much best sportsman that ever lived, and I don't even watch American football, so that's what I know about him.
Never heard of it.
Tom Brady? Never heard of Tom Brady before. Man, he's like, in terms of sports, and especially American football, he's pretty much broken, like, the next closest records to his in American football for players in the history of American football are, like, half his stats.
Blimey.
It's unreal. And he's quite old now for an American football player, and still whatever club he goes to, whatever team he goes to, like, wins stuff purely because he's there.
Oh, well.
He's unbelievable. And he's playing tonight for the Buccaneers, so... And I think it's I could be wrong on this, guys, but I'm pretty sure it's his first season with the Tampa Bay. So and he's taken them to the Super Bowl already. So it's pretty mad. And they were like not really, I'm guessing, challengers before this season. So goes to show how amazing a player he is, I guess. Pretty insane, to be honest. Pretty insane.
No, I don't watch much sport apart from football, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't tend to watch a crazy amount of sport other than football either, really. But I just decided I'd stay up for Super Bowl this year because it always looks quite cool to watch. And I always watch the trailers and stuff the next day that are released from it, from the halftime. I think I did watch it years and years ago once, but never went to do it again. And I always say every year I'll stay up and I'll watch it this year. I'll remember that it's on. And so I've remembered this year, so and it's lockdown and everything anyway. So
yeah, I mean, I watch the wrestling highlights when they're on.
Yeah, I said last week, didn't I? I need to sign up to the WWE streaming service.
I was shocked who won the Royal Rumble last week.
All right. Yeah, don't say because I might actually watch. I might actually watch it still. To be fair, I might do that actually. How long does it actually go on for, the actual fight?
I'm not sure. Highlights. So,
highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably just do that actually. Would make sense.
Yeah, I probably will.
I actually watched. Does anybody watch Joe Rogan's podcast, like his interviews and stuff? Because he interviewed The Undertaker a couple of weeks back.
Oh, wow.
As in the actual guy. It was so interesting to watch. Like, the whole backstory on like how you actually become a fighter in WWE, especially back when he started it. And he's like one of the longest serving ever like WWE fighters.
Yeah.
And it was unreal, like hearing his backstory and how he got into it and whatever. And it's so cool. Unbelievable, really. Al says, Tom Brady for the win, go Patriots. Well, there you go. And David says, I'll race you when it comes to painting those legions of Nagash, L. Yeah, that's it, good dude. Get him inspired. Get him going on it. It's crazy with Al. Sometimes I'll be like, He'll just randomly he'll have had some models for like 3 months, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, I painted up those like Legion of Nagash warband box set. And he'll do it in like a day. He'll just randomly do it. He'll just spurt them out, and I'll be like, where the hell did that come from? Yeah, I suppose that's the same with all of us. In all honesty, just tend to go through spurts.
Yeah,
and
it's like armies for me. I can't sit and paint a whole army.
What's that?
Horde armies. You know, where you get loads of models.
Oh yeah. That's why I like skirmish as well, though, because there's not much to paint. It's so much easier to just sit there and go, okay, this is the warband I need to paint. I can easily smash that out in like a day or two or whatever.
I mean,
much nicer.
Of Gene Stealer cults, and I haven't painted half of them.
Yeah. Was that your combat patrol, didn't you? For that?
Yeah.
You'll have to bring them on for kill team as well.
Yeah, but I'll have to learn the rules. But
oh yeah, of course you don't play much kill team, do you? Yeah. Fair dues.
I don't do much 40k in all fairness. So.
Yeah.
So I've been put off it a bit. So
that's it. Yeah.
But likewise, if people want Gene Stealer cults on the channel, I'll be able to probably muster up a game if need be.
Yeah. And David says, I have some Skeleton Warriors, the Sepulchral Guard, and a White King, and with a Black Axe. Not a bad combo, bud. You could easily use that for Warcry, couldn't you, to be fair? Not bad. Because that Sepulchral Guard of the old Warhammer Underworlds warband, aren't they? So it's a nice one. Definitely a nice one to have for Warcry. Nice combo there. And Al says, I love Joe Rogan's podcast. Yeah, I do watch them quite often whilst painting and whatnot. They are very good. Very, very good. And Arnold says, starts on BBC 2, continues on BBC 1 after. It's going to be an early one. Yeah, that'll be because Match of the Day, pal, probably for football in the UK. And then after that, the Super Bowl will probably start on BBC 1 then, I should think. But the lead up will probably be on BBC 2. It will be an early one. It will be that. But kickoff is at 11:30 tonight, UK time. So I haven't got too long after this finishes till it starts. But
how long is a match of American football?
I want to say it's similar to soccer, so for the people in the US. So it's like 80 minutes, is it? It's like 20 minutes each quarter. Because it's
quarters, do they?
I think.
So I don't absolutely know.
I'll let you know, or somebody will let you know in the comments. But my knowledge isn't that great about American football. I can understand some things that are happening when it's played, but not amazing with it, to be honest.
More than me.
I still enjoy watching it.
Yeah.
I just love how I love American commentary for things as well.
They are very enthusiastic.
Aren't they? Very enthusiastic. Like English commentary is so dull.
I don't know. You do get some funny ones.
Oh yeah, you do. Like obviously, there's the famous Aguero.
Yeah.
But
Chris Kamara.
Yeah, Chris Kamara. Yeah.
I don't know if it's funny or he's just, he cracks
I know
me
what
up.
you mean. Yeah. He is a bit crazy, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's why he's on all the adverts.
Yeah. Making the money there, isn't he, from him?
Yeah. And Al says, but with all the stop-starting, it takes at least 4 times as long as a soccer match. Yep, that's exactly why it'll be an early one. Yeah. I'll probably end up not being able to watch all of it. We'll see, but we shall certainly see. Like I said, I'll probably cheat.
Who wins anyway for me, so it'll be on the news who wins, won't it? So
yeah. Therefore.
Trying to learn how to play Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah, I need to learn
play it with the wife.
Hopefully.
Sounds good. We got the starter set in Black Panther and things built now, so.
Yeah, I've got more built. I just like everything painted before I play. It's
Well, I've started to build the Archer for the Luminous, so the base of it also. The Lumineth's bow and arrows are crazy. They're like harps.
Oh well.
Really, really detailed.
I do like that new Lumineth Fox Archer thing that they've released.
Box Archer.
Yeah, he looks like Fox.
Fox Archer. I thought you said box.
Fox, yeah.
Oh, right. I can't remember. I think I know what you mean, though, yeah.
It was that God thing, weren't it? One of these.
Yeah, it's like one of the big models.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're crazy, some of those are. Those big models they release now.
I presume someone will probably tell me what the actual name is.
One of the things I wish that they do is the Kurnoth faction that they released for Warhammer Underworlds. I wish they'd make a full faction for it for Age of Sigmar. Might still be in their plans, but they'd be really, really cool faction for Age of Sigmar. They could do some really pretty models for those.
Yeah.
And we could get a Warcry band for them as well. I think that'd be really cool.
That would be cool.
Arnold says it ends at 3:30 in the morning. Not sure if that's Dutch time. What time is it for you, bud, in the Netherlands right now? Let us know, because then I'll let you know whether it's the same or not. Yeah. Let me know what time it is over there, Paul.
I think it's about an hour in front, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah. Could be wrong, but...
And Arnold says, gonna build a Legions and Nagash Warcry warband during the game if I don't fall asleep. Yeah, same here, but pretty much. Might end up falling asleep, we'll see. Pretty much the same. Everybody seems to be on the Nagash at the moment. Maybe it's the new box set. Personally, I'm really tempted to build that personalized Kislev warband now. After that Total War 3 trailer. It's really inspired me. Some polar bear cavalry in Warcry would look sweet.
Yeah, look pretty cool.
It would indeed. Right. Find the right base for this Lumineth feller. How's yours going? Are you onto Crossbones now?
Yeah, I'm pretty much finished him, I'll be honest.
Did you say you'd based Black Panther and...
Yeah, I'm just painting the rims now, yeah.
Fair dues, fair dues.
When they're just made of black, they're quite easy to...
Yeah.
Out, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Done a little white dry brush gently over them just to bring some of the raised areas.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I was going to paint Venom tonight, but the paints didn't turn up. So
the what? Sorry.
The paints I ordered for him didn't turn up.
Oh, that's a shame.
So,
isn't he just similar colour though to Black Panther and Crossbones?
Yeah, I was going to do him like more of a purple, dark purple.
Like the old one, the old blue purple kind of coloured one. Yeah, that's quite cool idea. I like it. I like your idea. I like your thoughts.
To be like black, but you have hint purple, like in the light, you know.
See, the problem is I'm tempted by the new Inhumans as well, but
I've just started watching it.
They look really cool.
Yeah, I've just watched the first episode last night, and
Inhumans. The first episode's good. From there on out, it goes downhill. It got slated. That series.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Unfortunately, it got really badly slated. That did. You might enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it.
I love the dog. I love Lockjaw. I really want.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, I was tempted to get some get the Inhumans for Marvel.
Yeah, cool. They look really cool, and they've released the rules for them now. The stat cards, and Lockjaw is can teleport any of your models across the table. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to combine that as well with other factions and whatnot. It's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Arnold says it's 10:21 in Holland, so in the Netherlands. So yeah, you're an hour ahead of us, which means that it'll finish according to you said it's 3:30. The game will finish in Holland, so over here it'll finish at about 2:30, which is what I predicted. To be fair, I thought it'd be about 2:30 in the morning. It'd finish here, so probably might be able to stick it out. We'll see. But like Al says, it depends how much it delays really with that.
What's Venom?
Ooh, he's massive actually.
He is, yeah. I mean, it's not as big as Hulk.
Yeah.
Side by side.
Oh. Yeah, that's Hulk and Venom.
Yeah.
The comparison there. Massive.
Yeah, I've just got them 4 plus Black Widow, Captain Marvel, and Baron Zemo to paint now.
Ah.
I've done them all.
Al says not too crazy about some of the more out there Lumineth Cow Warriors. Some of their models are a bit weird for my liking, dude, to be fair. But their infantry models are gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mark's in there. He says, hi, people. I've missed most of the stream, but wanted to jump on for a bit. Thank you for joining us, buddy. Thanks for... doesn't matter if you join us for a little bit. We will stay on for a little bit longer. I'm up till late anyway, so long as Josh is good with that. Josh can always pop out if he wants to anyway. It's always doable. But yeah, I'm happy to stay on for a little longer. And what are you up to, Mark? Have you got a bit of time to do a bit of hobbying right now, or are you just jumping on to join us for a little while for a bit of chat? So it's cool to see there's some Marvel Crisis Protocols models being built, painted. Yeah, Mark, I know he's Patreon member now as well, so big up, buddy. Thanks for being a member as well. But he did let me know that he was investing in the starter set for Marvel. I think he put it on Discord as well. So I know that he's just got the starter set as well, Josh. So he's the same as you, mate. He's working on his starter set.
Yeah.
Arnold says, going to ask a quick YouTube question. Go ahead, mate. Ask me anything. I don't mind. David's YouTube as well, so he might be able to give help as well. And David says, I've been really liking WandaVision, especially the end of episode 5. Oh, yeah. Have you been watching that, Josh? I can't remember if you said you were.
I have caught up and watched episode 5, but I'm really struggling with it. Really struggling with it.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I just can't get into it at all.
Even after episode 4?
Yeah.
No way. It really starts to kick off after episode 4 because it reveals it all, doesn't it?
Everyone said that after episode 1 last week.
Nah, I thought episode 1, 2, 3 was still like the sitcom thing, so I was a bit like confused. I was a bit like, I don't know. But the problem is, if you go into it expecting full on Marvel, you won't like it because it's not the same.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it will be that by the end of the series. I think the last 2 or 3 episodes will go full blown Marvel. Like fighting and all that jazz. Episode 5's good. It's similar to the first few episodes, really, but it builds on the story still. So
yeah.
But in all honesty, if you're not entirely keen on it, I'd probably just wait until it finishes and then just binge it then, because they're only half-hour episodes. So I'd recommend that if you're not fully into it, really. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And Arnold says, are there rules or thresholds for going live on YouTube? In what way, bud? Do you mean like there's no holdback to going live, if that's what you mean. You can't use like copyrighted stuff, but that's the same in any video. You can't use copyrighted images or videos on anything. So you've got to make sure that whatever you're using is copyright free.
Yeah,
because otherwise your videos will get demonetized and you'll get a copyright strike, which we haven't had yet because I don't use any copyrighted stuff, so we don't use any images on here. But if you want to go live, and to be fair, you can do that. You can go live and you can use images from anything because there are tons of YouTubers that do it. You just can't monetize your video. So just if you're going to monetize your live streams, just be sensible about it and just do what we're doing. For example, I monetize our live streams because I can, because like I might as well, because we don't use any copyrighted stuff on here. There's no point. It's just a hobby and chat. But if I wanted to do a news related live show and put up images and stuff and talk about more things whilst using images for that, I wouldn't necessarily be able to monetize that. So if that's what you mean, I'm guessing that's what you mean. But other than that, there are no real restrictions. If you just go live through YouTube, it'll just be through your webcam. But if you want to use something like we're using StreamYard, or you can use David suggested Restream last week, you can use those for free and do what we're doing here. Basically, it's really handy. And then if you want to go premium each month, then you can slap your own kind of design and stuff on it. And if anybody's been with us from the start today, StreamYard let you do your own intros and outros now. So that's what we're doing today as well. So it works quite nicely. Mark says it's 1:30 and a sunny day in California, USA. Oh yeah, Mark's from USA. You watching the Super Bowl today then, pal? I'm guessing that's probably why you're only going to be with us for a little while. If you're into your American football, so I'm guessing you'll be watching the Super Bowl as well, maybe. I don't know. It's the most viewed event in the world, isn't it, every year? Unless the Soccer World Cup's on, and then it's the World Cup final. But other than that, it's always Super Bowl. Pretty mad.
It's Euros this year.
Hey?
It's Euros this year.
Yeah, it was meant to be last year, but I think it's been pushed back, hasn't it? Yeah. And also the Japanese Olympics as well. Tokyo this year. Yeah. That's this summer now. Because that was also meant to be last year, I think.
Yeah.
Al says WandaVision is the highlight of my week because of these days. Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those, isn't it? You just end up it ends up being the highlight of the end of your week because it's on a Friday. It releases. But no, I did like episode 5. It was pretty cool. I can't talk about it, guys, because obviously it's I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen them. But it really starts to unravel, and my theories are starting to shift. My theories about what's going on shift every week. Because I'm actually quite a big Marvel fan, so I do actually know quite a bit about Marvel. So my theories are just twisting every week. And Arnold says minimum number of channel members, those kind of rules. You don't need. I don't think you need a minimum for going live, pal. I don't think so. Does it not let you go live yet? Because if not, I know that minimum for monetizing things is 1,000 subscribers. Something like maybe I can't remember. You need a certain amount of watch hours. If you go onto YouTube, but and ask for help. If you type in on Google YouTube when does monetization start and that kind of thing, I think it might be the same for doing live streams. But as far as I'm aware, you could always do live streams. But okay. David's just helped me out there. He said you can't live stream from the app on your phone if you're under 1K subs. Okay. And David says if you're monetized, you're not supposed to multi-stream. That's the other thing as well that I forgot to point out. So yeah, pretty much it really. And Arnold says via laptop is possible. And yeah, it is, so long as you've got a good connection and things, and you've got a YouTube channel, which I know you do, pal. So yeah, go for it. You can live stream straight through, as long as you've got a webcam and obviously some sort of mic on that to speak through. And yeah, and like I say, the internet's the main thing. Like even ours cuts out sometimes, especially using StreamYard and stuff, but it's not too bad. And Al says, I grew up in America watching all the sitcoms they are riffing on. Yeah, they're going through each of the time periods, aren't they? Like the last episode 5, was based on the 80s TV shows, sitcoms. And then I think next week's is going to be 90s, 2000s. So, and then they'll keep building on the story outside of what's happening and all that jazz. So pretty cool. And Mark says, yes, I've built the Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain and base coated them. Built most of the models. Hope to play it in 6 months. Haha, JK. Awesome. And yeah, mate, we're all just waiting for lockdown and things to end here as well, just so we can play some different games. But there are many games I've got stacked up ready to go that we just can't do yet. But I'm looking forward to that for us to finally be able to do it. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll be good. An actual game.
Yeah.
I'm quite lucky my wife plays, but some games.
Say again, Paul?
I'm quite lucky my wife plays some games with me. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's nice. Like, my girlfriend isn't at all anything to do with like in wargaming or anything like that. She'll watch Marvel and all that kind of thing with me, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing because it's quite nice to have different tastes and whatnot, and it's my kind of own thing, I guess. So that's nice. But my own hobby and whatnot to myself, I guess. But it is nice to be able to have somebody else in your household, especially at times like this, that do like to play them, I guess.
Yeah.
She's definitely interested in it. She loves to ask about it and whatnot. So
yeah, I actually met her in a model shop, so it's
yeah, exactly. That's awesome. That's really cool. And Arnold said, "Is there a max time to your stream?" Not really. YouTube did have a point where they cut off your videos at about 2 hours, but I don't think they do that anymore. They went through a time when they were doing that, but I don't think so. You can pretty much go on for however long now, and you can still release a video for it. Obviously, the upload time and things like that after a live stream, the longer it is, the longer it'll take to process and put up the video at full quality. Because what YouTube will do, you'll live stream, and then it'll process. Your video will go up for people to watch, but it'll only be in like 720p, something like that, standard definition. And then it probably won't process until the next morning to go up in full HD, and that's just the way it works. But works just fine. And if you're using StreamYard or something like we are, unless you go premium, it only uploads in 720p anyway, so it works just fine. And Arnold says, would like to do live build stream for my giants. That's why I asked. Yeah, you should be fine to do it, pal. There's no stopping you doing that. You should be absolutely fine. Like David says, as long as you don't do it through the app and things, you'll be fine to do that. Go on for as long as you want to, more or less. But usually after, that's why we tend to stick to a couple of hours on these, because people won't be that bothered about sticking around for more than a couple of hours, really. But if you're doing like a full project like that, then you can kind of get away with it. People do 24-hour live streams on YouTube, so just straight up videos, more or less. So you can definitely do it. If you want to actually upload your video after you've done a live stream, stick to around 2 hours max, I'd say. And Al says, I recommend watching analysis vids about WandaVision on YouTube. It adds a lot. There are so many clues and Easter eggs in the show. Yeah, I end up watching a couple, but after each week, it's definitely adds to it, without a doubt, because there's a lot of hidden stuff in there that's hard to understand.
So I've just started Black Widow.
Cool. All of your black minis.
Yeah, pretty much. Just for get more done what I've got.
Says, I'm not watching Super Bowl this year. Not a big football fan except Blood Bowl. I've never seen it many times over the years. I've seen it many times over the years, sorry. Yeah, well, if you're in America, I suppose you can't really hide from it, can you? When it's the biggest event of the year a lot of the time on TV. But yeah, fair enough, pal. Fair enough. And David says, I don't even know what 2000 sitcoms are like. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if they played on like Friends and stuff like that, to be honest, because that's kind of early 2000s, late 90s, isn't it? So that is what I'd probably say. Yeah. I'm just going to finish this one model for a second, and then we'll probably call it a day. But it's been pretty cool. It's always just nice and chill to do these, guys. Thanks for everybody who's been joining along.
You could nice again, hasn't it?
Say again?
Been a nice chilled night again.
Yeah, always is. Always good to do. Always enjoy doing it. And just finish off cutting some of these. Okie dokie. Right then, guys. Well, we'll leave you with it there, I think. Thanks so much to everybody who's been watching tonight and joining us. And to Josh, thanks for joining us, buddy.
No problem.
Did you want to give a shout out to Three Spires? You don't always get a chance to do it, but might as well.
Yeah, so if anyone...
See, at the moment, it's a bit harder, isn't it? But
I run a mental health tabletop gaming group called Three Spires Gaming. Small group in my local town. The idea is to help people with mental health through powered wargaming. And yeah, we've had a lot of people come over last year when we was open. We have been shut since last March due to COVID, but I'll still run online and that. I am doing a create Free Spies chapter, Space Marine chapter, if anyone's interested. Basically, create a Space Marine chapter, send it to me, and it'll be voted on by everyone on social media.
Cool idea.
So if anyone wants to take part in that, just go on my Instagram or Facebook to find more details.
Sounds good. So yeah, Three Spires, you can always find out on Facebook and things like that with Josh, and I think you're on Insta as well, aren't you, bud? So
yes,
just search Three Spires Gaming, guys, and you'll find Josh there.
And on Twitter now.
Twitter, there you go.
Yeah, expanding
as well.
So.
And thanks so much for watching tonight, guys. And thanks to everybody who's been dropping comments, and to Kevin and Arnold for your super chats and stickers tonight, guys. It's always much appreciated for the backing, the financial backing for the channel. Always helps support me and the backing of the channel, obviously the sustainability and things like that. Obviously, there's things like Patreon as well, if you want to check in the link in the description below, guys. We're trying to hit that next target now, that next tier for the channel, where we can put out more battle reports and things like that each week, because we've had to cut back because of COVID and the time that I have and things for the financial backing and whatnot. The more backing we get, the more we can put out again, because at the moment it's only going to be one battle report a week. So until we hit that next target, that is going to be how it is, guys. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, from me and Josh, happy skirmishing.
See you guys.
Hey there, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Please do throw a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when any new content drops. We do one battle report a week covering various skirmish games. There's also Patreon if you wish to support me and the channel, and we are trying to reach our first funding target, allowing me to go part-time and make more weekly scheduled content. You can go and sign up and show your support in the link in the description below, just like the awesome people to the left of me. And until next time, guys, enjoy and happy skirmishing.